Okay, hi everybody. We're back again. It's been a while, but we're back. Um with Miss Rachel.
Hello.
Rachel, oh my god. We have so many questions for you.
Oh boy.
So many questions. Okay, are you ready
I guess so.
for the gauntlet? Okay, so first question, how's life been being out of I Love Money Manor?
Relaxing, honestly. Yeah, it's been different. I've had a lot of free time, which is nice. I can go to bed a bit earlier again. It's definitely weird though, because that really consumed my life for like 3 weeks. So it's definitely different, but it's kind of nice having not have to think 24/7 about the game.
Facts. Truer statement. It's truest statement. Okay. Um, did you watch the battle back? And do you
Yes.
regret missing the battle back?
Um, Yeah, like obviously I wanted to be there, so I know in the live people were like, I wonder if she just didn't show up. I did, like I had a family thing I had to go to, so I like actually couldn't show up, or else I would have. I don't know if I would have made it back though. Like I think people would have probably, especially since I was the most recent out, people would have been like, oh, you had your turn, like let's get us back in. We've been out for a while, so I don't know if I would have actually made it back in anyway. So yeah, I don't know if it really would have had an impact. Obviously, I wish I was there, especially that challenge. I feel like I could have done decent at.
Okay. So what were your thoughts on watching the battle back?
I was shocked that Sador made it back in. I know in like the comments of the live, everyone was like, "Oh, it's so smart to like bring someone that's not there because it's an automatic vote for you." And that was not the case. So I was definitely shocked. I didn't know who was going back in. Um, I would say I was probably rooting for Jordan to go back in. But yeah, I'm glad like Sador's back in, especially since she was cut early. So it will be nice to see how like her gameplay plays out too.
How do you think she's going to do back in the house, considering the way she left the house?
I think a few people probably don't necessarily want to work with her. However, since it's low numbers now, especially after like the last episode from yesterday, I think people are going to be scrambling to use her as a number because she wouldn't have any firm, as far as I know anyway, like firm alliance going back in. So I think she'll be definitely used as a number and might be safe for a bit.
So you think she's going to be, there's other bigger targets in there right now, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. If you could do it all over again, would you?
Yeah, I would. Maybe if I wasn't working full time, because it definitely was a lot. But yeah, it was so fun. And yeah, I would have made a few tweaks to my gameplay, but I went in, had fun, like was true to myself. So I don't have any regrets or anything. But yeah, I would do it again.
Who are you hoping leaves next?
I don't know. Originally, like when I just left, I would have said Latea because obviously she was the first one to say my name to put me in the box. However, I think it would have been the same outcome anyway. That side had the numbers to put me in the box no matter what. So I'm not like obviously not blaming like Latea directly, but I would have said her because she threw my name out and I threw her name out the week before. So no hard feelings. But now I don't know. I think last night's episode, kind of since there was so little people left, really you can't hide what side of the house you're on, and I think that kind of caught a few players up in that. So I'm excited to see tomorrow's episode to see how that plays out and if that changes any like relationships or sides.
So from the last episode that you watched,
Mm-hmm.
who do you think is in trouble? Just based off of last night's live.
Based off of last night's live, I think Harris may be in trouble.
Why?
Because it seems like some people were shocked, like mainly from the initial, the first elimination. I think some people were shocked with who he put into the box, and kind of showed more so which side he aligned with. So I think that may put a target on his back. But also, I don't know what's going on in there, so who knows where everyone's at. But I think he would be the one out of last episode that may have a target on his back now.
Who are you rooting for that's still in the game?
Everyone put so much time and effort in, so I would be happy with anyone winning the game. But I would I don't know. I think it would be crazy if Edgar came from like the bottom, like all the way to the bottom, multiple weeks in a row, everyone's gunning for him and won. So that would be like a crazy underdog story. Gotta love an underdog story.
Okay, so who are you rooting for? Like, who do you think's gonna win?
Who do I think is gonna win? I think everyone has a possibility to run it. I don't want to like throw people under the bus and put a target on their back. I don't know. I think everyone has the potential to win. I do think Edgar's honestly in a good spot. I think most people, Jenna even, playing the middle, I guess, now, like not playing the middle, but like, I guess I would say Harris wasn't a strong, like, right so far. But when I was still in, there was sides going back and forth and people were always fighting in an episode, and those were the big targets. And now those are starting to dwindle down. So now staying quiet isn't necessarily going to work anymore. So I don't know who I'm rooting for and who I think. Well, it changes every episode now that I'm out and can't see the background of things. I'm like, oh, what's happening?
It's very different on the other side.
It definitely is.
Yes. So you had a power.
Mm-hmm.
Do you regret not using your extra vote?
No, I don't regret not. Well, obviously, I guess, but I don't think it would have saved me. So, it did not. I don't think it would have mattered because I wasn't planning on using it at that time. And I don't, even with that extra vote, if I were to throw other people's names out, I don't think there would have made a difference. My name would have still had the same amount of votes.
So we're going to talk about the relay race.
Okay. Yes.
Did you actually struggle with that slider puzzle?
It was so bad.
You were the last person to finish.
I know. I didn't even finish. It was so bad. I can't do a slider puzzle. I wish I had literally, well, not the burpees, but I wish I had the cup one or the decode. Those were not the same level of challenges, the decoder and the slider puzzle. The decoder was so easy. So I really wish I chose number 2 and not number 1, or was on that team. But yeah, no, I actually struggled with that. I obviously did not want to come in dead last for that. I'm glad I could redeem myself with the the follow-up challenge, but yeah, that was like really bad. I was like, it was so bad.
Girl, we were like, no way, she has to be throwing this.
No, I swear I was not throwing it. I have never been able to solve a slider puzzle, I think, in my life, probably. And not one of that. That was like 8 by 5 or something? I don't know. It was a big one. The corner was the issue. I had the whole top line and the side line, but I couldn't get the corner ones gone. So that was where it really started to go downhill.
Look, I hate slider puzzles too. I don't care. Even the easy ones suck. So
yeah.
So we have some comments. We have Stacy Weber that says, my favorite player.
Wow, thanks, Stacy.
Outdoors with Kane says, Rachel is so smart. Hate to see her go.
Thank you.
They also said you should definitely practice slider puzzles.
Yeah, that was one of my downfalls, clearly.
We have another one from Stacy Weber. It says, Rachel, where can we reach you on social media? But we'll get to that at the end.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we'll definitely plug her, Stacy. Don't worry. We'll plug her. Okay, my next question. We're going to go all the way back to the Traders Comp. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think you should have played the Traders Comp differently? And
yes.
What do you regret most in that game?
Well, I was shocked to become a traitor to begin with. It really shows that one vote is all you need because I only had one vote, and some people had like 8 or 9. So I was shocked to begin with, and I honestly, as much as people probably think I'm like, oh, this really good liar. Anyone who knows me in real, I cannot lie. Like it shows on my face immediately, but like I guess when I'm in like a do or die situation, it's a Game of Thunders. Like it was like a do or die. You know, I couldn't throw a comp. I can't throw a comp. It's not in me, I feel like. So I just had to stick with it, tried to keep my composure. And then when it was getting down to the end, I was like, this is probably not the best way to start off the season with being known as like a really good liar and maybe manipulator because everyone, like, people after, like, I had no idea it was her. Especially Terrell, I feel so bad. He's like, I trusted you so much. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, that was actually crazy. I should not. I wish I was whatever the other part is, but I wish I was them and not the traitor. But or yeah, I don't know. Threw my game out earlier for a traitor, like threw it, but it is what it is.
Especially since you were late, you were titled the most intelligent early on. After you won, were you like, ah, crap, this is not good?
Yeah. I was more so nervous about, like, I didn't want to be the first one out, that I'm like, okay, I need to win this challenge, but that probably, like, there was other bigger targets. I don't think I probably would have been a target that first round if I didn't win that, because they would have gone for, I think, bigger personalities, potentially. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have won that.
Well, we never know, you know.
We never know.
We can't go back in time, but for the next time around.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, take notes, because I saw you taking notes, girl.
Oh, I took every single note. I watched back every live, read all the comments. I have a whole Word document, like 15 pages.
A girl after my own heart. I play like that too. I make big charts, but you know, we can talk about that later. So we're gonna talk about Millie.
Okay.
So Rachel, why did you tell Millie that you didn't lead the charge? Like, girl, why you lie to her?
I owned up and I said that I was the one who started it.
Yeah, but you said because you didn't start. You started it, but you didn't really start it because you weren't.
I said
leading the charge again.
I don't think it was a lie. I think it was a little playing it down a little. So yes, I owned up. I started it, and I feel like I would have. That was if I could take back one move, it was that whole thing. However, I still at that time I was like, this makes sense analytically. It's the same typing, the same style of writing. That's what I was going off of. But yeah, I was like, there was other people in that chat, and I think all of us, they immediately were like, yes, I agreed 100%, like all caps, being like, yes, I like, because originally I didn't say we need to take Millie out. I said, I have a suspicion or like a theory that this is this, and they immediately agreed, and then it kind of like snowballed from there. So I definitely like was the, and I've said that to Millie and told Terrell too, and I was like, yeah, like I did like start that, absolutely. And then other things went on, and it spread to more people. And I think obviously I do know I started that and was one of the main people, but I was not the only main person in that, I don't think.
True. How did you feel? Okay, so you got a punishment. Rachel,
that was the worst day of my life.
How did you feel about having to twerk and then twerk while you're fighting for your life?
It was horrible. I should have just lost my vote. My vote didn't matter anyway. So I did that for nothing. So it was literally the worst. I would have rather sang. I would have rather been blindfolded. So it was literally the worst punishment I could have ever got, I think, for me. It's my worst nightmare.
But you know what? You were such a trooper, and not everybody would be such a trooper. Some people would complain. So you did your best, girl. You did your best.
Yeah, I was really trying to do the bare minimum with that because I did not want to do that.
Okay, so when it comes to your okay, we're gonna talk about your eviction or your check being voided.
Mhm.
When it came time for that vote, how do you feel so that Latea was the one leading that charge?
I mean, it makes sense. Like, I said her name last episode, and honestly, like, I only said it because I knew she would be safe with Maddie. Like, that's whether they want to believe me or not. That was 100% it. Latea, nothing against you at all. It was fully based off because you were safe, and I needed to throw another name out, or I would be in there. And I thought if I was in there, I would go home, and that proved to be the case. So that I don't like it made sense for her to throw my name out because I said her name last episode. So it totally made sense. I think either way, I would have been thrown out by one of those people. So yeah, nothing personal, I guess, but yeah, it makes sense for her to throw my name out at that point.
Why didn't you push harder to try to get somebody else in the box?
Well, I feel like I was first of all distracted from twerking, so I couldn't think straight, and I didn't know who else. Like they had the vote, they had all the votes. I don't think there was anything I could do. None of them would have got like with Maddie, and none of the four at the time, the four, none of them would have gone in or gone home if they went in. And I at that point I thought Jenna was potentially going home anyway, because I hadn't talked to her before then. So because of the message that she sent earlier saying she wanted to go out. So I was unsure if that was even happening. And then we got in the box and I'm like, oh no, she's 100% staying, and it's between me and Edgar. And yeah, like realistically, I probably had the best chance to stay against Edgar, but it still didn't really do anything.
Do you think there's anything you could have said different or done different while you were in the vault with Maddie that could have possibly saved you?
Oh, probably. Yeah. I mean, I straight up said, like, yeah, we were talking to Maddie, or I was talking to Maddie, and it was going like well. I understood, like, we kind of cleared up some things, and then, yeah, she was like, keep me like, how would you show that you wouldn't vote me next? And I'm like, I like you. I've never said your name, and like. I can't say I haven't said your. I was just trying to be honest because I'd rather be honest and go out than say all these lies in the next episode I show I'm a liar. So I like basically said I'm like, can't say I'm not going after other people in your alliance, but I wasn't going after you, at least at the top of the list. I didn't say that part, but yeah, I honestly wasn't going after Maddie out of the four of them. And then she asked if I could keep like her and Latea safe, and I'm like, and like honestly, I could keep you safe. But Latea, I'm like, well, Latea keep me safe? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, she's just threw me out, so I can't really promise that. And that probably absolutely wasn't the smartest thing to do.
Lie, girl. It's okay to lie.
I don't like lying. So yeah, that definitely was the seal on my my check being voided. But I mean, she would have it would have shown that I was a liar in the next episode then, because I probably would have been voting for Latea, or I definitely would have been voting for Latea.
Well, then Latea went.
Yes.
So you were in a few alliances while you were in the game. Do you regret turning on them at the time that you did? Do you wish you would have waited a little bit longer?
Definitely, yeah. And I even said that in like my exit interview, or not my exit, like in the diary rooms. I was like, because we were talking about that, and I'm like, I'm not saying like this has to happen like this something right now, but it's like eventually when it comes down to it, there may be a reorder of like who's to go first versus like staying last. And then it just kind of snowballed, and it's just like, hey, this is planned this week. And then as soon as the episode started, I'm like, this is the circle night and this is not going to go well. But yeah, I definitely like regret doing that. However, it did show a lot with the safety chain. So it was good in a sense, I guess, to kind of know where people stand and where you stood. But that night, I think, was kind of like, yeah, put another huge target on my back. But yeah.
In the game itself, what do you wish you would have done different?
I I wish I wouldn't have told people my theory and just kept it to myself. Because really there was no threat there, I don't think. So that was just me, trying to be like, okay, this is the same, like it was all based on the explanation point, which in hindsight is probably really dumb, but it's, I would regret just starting that whole thing, and just kind of ride it out, because I, like, at that point the target from me being the traitor had already worn off, or at least I thought it was settled. Like there's other targets, so I was like riding clear, and I was just trying to think ahead because I was always thinking, but it just bit me in the butt.
Do you feel like you put all your eggs in one basket, and do you regret that?
A little bit, yeah. I don't know if I regret it. But yeah, I think I should have tried a bit harder to make more personal connections. I definitely did make personal connections with everyone, but I mainly, when I was talking to people, unless it was in the main like group, like the whole chat, I was talking game and not necessarily like super personal. We would say like some things back and forth like with everyone. But yeah, I think I should have made more personal relationships, and that would have gone like farther.
Okay. During the vault ceremony, you had a moment where you got emotional. I wasn't there. I missed that. When Jenna said the reason why was because you voted for her during the lip sync, which made her dead last loser.
Mm-hmm.
What was going through your mind when she said that to you?
That like really hurt. I did not know that like that was the reason. And I did not mean anything for that. Like I was basing it purely off the challenge, and I didn't want to do someone from my team, which meant it had to be someone from her team. And I told them this, it was between Edgar and Jenna, because Latea and Justin both did great in that music video, and I think they carried, and I think that's the consensus, that they were the two best people in that. So it was between them. And I just had to throw out a name. And yeah, it was absolutely nothing personal. I was like really shocked and upset that that made her feel like that, because that was not my intention at all.
We don't think that was either. We figured it was just game.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry it made you feel that way, but okay. So we're going to talk about something a little different.
Okay.
So Maddie said to you, if she kept, so we talked about that. If she kept you, if you would keep Latea safe. Chantel just wants to know, why? Why? Do you think she would have believed you? So do you think if you would have said yes,
mm-hmm.
Do you think she would have believed you and she would have kept you?
Probably not. Like, I don't know. There was a chance, because she said some other things where it's like, okay, there's a chance I could stay. But I don't know. Like, even if she did believe me and I stayed next, then she would immediately next episode not believe me as soon as I vote for Latea, and then that would show that I wasn't loyal. So I thought that would be more like, or would be worse. But yeah, like, I mean, obviously that was a bad move, but at that point I was like, okay, I'm going home. There's nothing I can do. But I don't know if she would believe me. Like, it's kind of, I mean, I would, like, if I was her and like the situation was swapped with anyone or something, and like that person just voted this person into the bottom, like, and went full force, like, you're going in, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's kind of obvious that they'd be after them at that point. So I don't know if she would have believed me if I like lied. And if not, it would, like I said, the next episode, it would have been shown that it was a lie.
So when she took Edgar for that one-on-one, did you feel? Oh, okay, Chantel, wrong question. Sorry, love. Sorry, we're moving on the fly here. So in the game, I felt like you were a target at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
How did you manage to fade into the background so well after that spotlight?
I think because I'm pretty quiet. Like, I am not like a confrontational person at all. And I think there are a lot of confrontational people that were in the house. And so that kind of like, there was always like some sort of drama, not necessarily like bad drama, but like people talking over each other, going back and forth. And so if I just sat in the background, kind of faded the target on my back, and like the bigger players were going after each other. And so I think that's what really faded. There was a lot that of the loud players were being targeted because their game was getting out there more, whereas I was just sitting silently.
Brandon in the chat says, it seems like you had a lot of game left in you. Was sad to see you go.
Thanks, Brandon. Yeah. I definitely would have loved to play more, but yeah. What can you do?
Did you have a pathway to the end, and what got in the way?
Yeah, I thought I was in a decent spot going into that episode. But yeah, I think it's just the power that was in Maddie's hands, and that 4 had the numbers that week. With the other, with Morgan, because Morgan was saying my name from the beginning too. And yeah, I think they had majority. And everyone was just kind of on board. So I think with Maddie being the paymaster, everyone's like, Kate, this is the time. I don't know what background conversations are going on, if that was a plan. I have no idea. But yeah, I think that since Maddie won the paymaster, they knew that would be someone that could take Rachel out, maybe. I don't know, honestly.
Well, we were so happy to have you play. Yes, we were sad to see you go, but if you ever had the chance to come back in Quebec, we would be very happy.
All right, sounds good.
So, someone says the mystery tree says, who do you think will have their check voided next?
I think it depends who wins paymaster. But now that I think the 4 is dismantled, I don't know if they're going to be a big target now. So I don't know. I think it really depends, but potentially could be Harris, maybe. Because
I love you, but you're always the queen of I don't know. All your DRs would be like, I don't know.
I don't like throwing anyone under the bus.
I could tell.
So yeah, I'm not trying to have a messy exit interview.
Because you're a nice, sweet person.
Yes, I like to think so.
Yes, I think so. My last question or statement to you was, what did you think about last night's double eviction? Were you shooketh by who went home and how it worked out?
Yeah, I was definitely on my toes the whole episode. I was like, oh my gosh, this might work out, for getting 2 of the 4 out. So I was definitely I'm like, wow, they actually did that. So it was crazy. But the whole episode, Connor, I was laughing the whole episode. It was it was the best episode I think of the season so far. It was so funny. Connor's just so funny. Oh my god. And reading the comments that went along with it, I was like, oh my god. It was I was laughing the whole episode. It was great.
All right, Rachel, now's your time to plug your socials everywhere. So everyone that is a Rachel watcher will know where to find you.
All right. I'm at Rachel_Haggith at everything. Well, I mean, I use TikTok and Instagram. Pretty much that's it. So, but it's Rachel_Haggith.
You want to spell your last name so they can find you?
Yeah. Haggith.
So is there anything you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to let everybody know before we say bye for now?
I don't think so. I really enjoyed playing the game. Loved everyone I met. It was a really cool opportunity. But yeah, I'm excited to see where the season goes.
So am I. And we'll be excited to see you play again.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody. Rachel's going to go bye-bye. Yeah.
Bye.